Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, welcome. My name is Ikra and I create videos around beauty, lifestyle and teaching. And if you click this video, it's probably because you're a parent and you're about to start homeschooling your children, maybe for the first time, and you kind of don't know where to start. Or maybe you have a few ideas, but you just want a little bit of guidance from somebody who does this on a day-to-day because it's their day job. I'm a primary school teacher. I don't have children myself, but I am a primary school teacher. I've been a teacher for 3 years now, and I thought I would just put a video out with a lot of resources down in the description bar for you guys, as a way to help and do my little bit for society, and to just be somebody who, if you need any help, if you need any guidance, you can feel free to message me, and when I have time I will get back to you and hopefully help you out, because we are living in a time which is kind of scary and everything's very uncertain, and schools have been shut and we don't know how long they're shut for. Obviously we've got one more week and then it'd be Easter break anyway, but the chances are schools may be shut down from after Easter break onwards. We just don't know. Even, us teachers, we're in the exact same boat as you guys. We have no idea what's going on. We have no idea what the government are going to suggest or expect from us, and all we can do is sort of follow this whole situation on a day-to-day basis. So today I really wanted, and it is Thursday, it's currently 9:40 at night. I'm hoping this video is going to be up in the morning on Friday to be a bit of a guidance for you guys. And if you want anything else, any extra resources or any extra information, then definitely follow me on my socials, especially on my Instagram. The tag is here, it's the blushing giraffe, because I will be sharing things that I find on there as well. And also make sure you follow my friend Amina. I'm going to leave her tag here. She is a primary school teacher who's currently on maternity leave, and she's homeschooling her 2 girls at the moment. And today she was posting the way their routine was starting and just the different activities, and I thought it was so good for everyone out there who is in the same position where they are now educating their children at home. The first thing I want to say is don't panic. Nobody is expecting you to suddenly become a school teacher in your own house and know XYZ about everything to do with educating children. The most important thing is that your children are happy, safe, cared for, looked after, and that they are still able to learn during the day. So I want to suggest a couple of things, and whether you take them on board or not, it's totally your choice, but I hope you do, because these are things that we tend to do within our classrooms and things that we know work well when you're teaching a large group of children. So I'm sure they're going to work well for your 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, however many children you have at home. And I do also want to add, before I get into this video, that these are my views and they're views based on my practice. They are not the views of any schools I've worked for or any schools I'm currently working for, because I'm currently doing supply. So I don't want anyone to think I'm speaking on behalf of a specific school or like a local authority. These are just my views and my experience. The day you start this home learning journey with your children, you need to make it clear to them that between the times of 9 and 3 or 9:30 to 3:30, that's their time to learn, as they normally would in school. And the best way that we teachers do this is at the start of the term, when we start a new class, is we set some ground rules, some classroom rules. So I would suggest you do the same thing. Now, I'm not saying that you need to choose a room in the house and that's going to be your schoolroom. You are so lucky in that you're at home, you've got the kitchen, you've got the living room, you've got the back room, you've got the bedroom, you've got the garden, you've got all these different spaces to create as your classroom. But you do need to set out a bunch of rules, and your children will be quite good at this because they will be used to this. And if they're not, then just, kind of use common sense. What would be good rules? Well, when mum or dad or whoever is the school home educator here is speaking, we listen. If we want to add something in, we wait respectfully. Maybe you want to raise your hands, maybe you want to have a signal. Just set some basic rules. We are going to try our best. We are going to try and keep learning. We are going to make learning fun. That could be a rule as well. Like, it shouldn't be mundane, it shouldn't be boring. They should still be able to enjoy whilst learning. So set a bunch of rules and set a schedule. A schedule is really important. Routine is very important. It's important for us adults. Trust me, I've been unemployed prior to this for 6 months, and routine went out of the window. And slowly but surely, like, my sanity and like my mental well-being really suffered and dropped as well, because I was lacking a consistent routine. So set a routine. Make sure that by 9 a.m. your children are up, they've had their breakfast, they've got changed, and no, you don't have to wear your uniform, but they can maybe pick out their outfit of the day for school, homeschool that day, but make sure that they're changed into clothes that are different from their pajamas, so they feel like they're in a state of not just lounging about. I mean, you can do that after 3 o'clock, but let's try and stick to, well, we're in homeschool now, so let's choose a nice pair of trousers or a nice dress or a nice skirt. Again, let this be fun for them, because this is a very uncertain time for children as well. As a teacher who's been in a school in the last couple of weeks, I've seen the anxiety and the panic and the worries build up in children, and being a supply, I've been with children from as young as like primary 1, year 1, who've been talking about dying and the coronavirus. So we as adults are uncertain about what's going to happen. Your children are probably feeling very similar. So it's really important that you, as the caregiver and the homeschool teacher, you're creating a really happy, positive, calm, relaxing, but motivated environment for them to learn in. But also having it stuck up somewhere where they can easily access it, because we have what we call in schools a visual timetable. A lot of children respond really well to a visual timetable, so maybe they want to help you to draw one out. So the first thing you can do from 9 to 10 could be a little bit of exercise. You might want to go for a walk, and remember, we are being encouraged at the moment, we're not in lockdown mode yet, we are being encouraged to go out and get exercise as long as you're practicing social distancing. You know, just do something that will get them moving and will get the endorphins flowing and get ready for the day. And I think it's really important as well to kind of try and find your teacher voice. So obviously at home, your mum or your dad or your auntie or uncle or your grandma or granddad, but when it's homeschool time, you are also their homeschool teacher. So you're going to want them to almost act like they're in school, in terms of, right, I'm actually sitting down here now to learn, to do my best. And it's not going to be the same as regular school. They're not going to see their friends. It's not going to be that same routine. But to mimic a routine that is as similar as possible is basically what's key here. And that's what's going to allow them to keep learning, to keep growing, and to kind of keep a sense of normality in a very odd situation. The third thing is, and this is something that you want to do probably beforehand, to prepare either the night before or maybe just a week, like on the weekend, you want to use the internet to your advantage, because trust me, that is what us teachers do. Obviously we have lesson plans, and we have long-term plans and short-term plans, and we have lots of different things we need to cover within the curriculum, and nobody's expecting parents to do that to the T, obviously not. But what I am saying is that the resources that we use to supplement our teaching abilities are still available for you guys. And what's amazing about this crazy time is that so many companies have allowed their usually paid for subscription services to be free, because they are aware that a lot of you guys haven't got teaching experience, a lot of you guys are having to teach for the first time, and you want the best for your children. And so they are lifting their subscriptions off their services to allow you to do the best job that you can do. So there's actually a link, and I'm going to leave it down below, and it's a Facebook group, and they've created like a global spreadsheet which basically allows you to click on it and you to have access to all of these resources that you would usually have to subscribe for free. And have a look through that, choose what you want, choose what you think would work best for your children. There is also down below going to be a huge list of websites. Some of them I haven't heard of before and I haven't used, but a lot of them I have. One of my favorites is Khan Academy. It's a free resource anyway, and it's amazing. It has video tutorials of how to do things, and it explains it in a very kid-friendly way, especially if your child is stuck on something, or if their school has set them homework or some sort of home learning and they're not sure about it and you're not sure about it. Going on to Khan Academy is a really great way to kind of meet the two problems together in the middle, and to ensure your child's able to understand as best as possible without a physical teacher right there in front of them. There are also TED ed videos. Now, I don't know if you guys enjoy watching TED Talk videos. I know I definitely do, because they're very informative and they always make me think a little bit harder about a topic I might not regularly think about. Well, there's also an education version of it. So this is definitely going to be more beneficial to those of you who have got older children and have a look through the different topics. Maybe you could pick one of the TED Ed topics, and then if you've got like a child in year 4, a child in year 5, year 6, year 7, maybe you could arrange a little debate. Their children love debating, they love talking. A lot of the times I find the children who I've come across and who I have taught want to get involved in the learning. So it doesn't mean that they don't want to write, and I do recommend you do some writing practice every day, but it means that they love to talk and discuss, and a lot of our lessons are based around discussions first, and then we do the writing afterwards. So this is a really good time and a really great opportunity for you guys to actually sit down and have the time to have these conversations with your children, which you might not normally do on a busy routine. The amazing thing about this whole thing is that there's so many resources out there that are free, that are going to stretch your child's imagination, that's going to challenge them, that's going to help them. Something I saw today, literally like 2 hours ago, which I was so happy to see, was that Audible have really kindly put together a bunch of books for absolutely free. Again, the link is going to be down below, and it's so simple. Like, there is another website that's made a lot of their ebooks for free, but I clicked on it and it was just taking very long time to load, and it wasn't very user friendly. So I will put that down below as well, but personally I recommend you take advantage of the free Audible stories. The reason for this is, and I'm not saying like your children shouldn't be reading, if I could stress one thing to you, it's to use this time to encourage your child to have a love for reading. And if that means that you sit there and you read every other page with them, so be it. If that means you sit there and you read to them, so be it. If that means that you hear the same book again and again and again because that's the book they love, so be it. Honestly, as a teacher, I can tell you, like, with full confidence that reading and your child's ability to read, your child's happiness to read, and your child's then love for reading, they get to the loving stage of reading at sort of the age of 6, 7, 8, 9, then the rest of their education is helped immensely. Reading helps with your writing, it helps with your spelling, it helps with your comprehension, your understanding, and it opens their world to so many different adventures and so many different doors. Honestly, I know for a fact that right now, this generation of children that we are currently educating, they don't have a strong love for reading. And last year in my classroom, and across the whole school, reading was a big focus. And I would get my class, because they were in year 6, so age 10 and 11, to every half term, I expect them to read at least one book and to be able to write at least one book review. And then we would have a book circle and we would share it. The reason why I'm telling you this is because we don't know how long this school being closed situation is going to last. It might last for 3 weeks, so between now to the end of Easter. It might last for 5 weeks. It might last until summer. But these habits that you can now take advantage of and implement now, these habits could really change your child's life, honestly. So if you can find ways to encourage them to read, and ways that don't include like paying them or, like giving them monetary value, but giving them just encouragement, like swapping the reading for some reward time afterwards with a screen. And then once you do that, once you find something that will motivate them to read, then you'll find that they'll actually start really enjoying it. Or once you start reading with them and they start understanding the book properly, you'll find that they'll want to do it more. I find that a lot of times children who don't like reading, it's because their reading skills don't match those of the children around them, and they're finding it hard to read specific words. So in that process of trying to read a sentence, the understanding of a sentence isn't there because they're trying to break down bit, or z, bit, because. And obviously in the process it takes for them to read that word, they kind of miss the rest of that sentence. So that's why it's so important that children are read to, and they're not just told here, open a book, read a book. You know, that's not helpful for their development. That's not helpful for their understanding. And then when they are just constantly being told to read and they're not read to or read with, which is the best thing, because if they are looking and watching you read and you're modeling them reading, then they're able to pick it up much quicker. If they're constantly just being told read, 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 and they're not being given an example of what good reading is, they're not going to want to read. It's going to become a chore for them. It's going to become something that they're not good at and that they feel bad about, and they just find really boring. This is getting to be a bit of a long video, so I'm just taking the time. But yeah, the last thing I wanted to say in this video at least, and if this lockdown continues and if I get more information and more resources, I will constantly be updating the description bar to this video. I'll also be posting things on my Instagram, like I said, and I might even just do a blog post on my blog, because that will be a good way for you guys to just keep checking it up. And if this happens for a very long time, I might do a part 2. But honestly, this Audible site is amazing. So literally, I've just clicked on it now. It's stories.audible.com. You just click start listening, and as quick as that, it's loaded up. There are littlest listeners, elementary, tween and teen, and then literary classics, which I love, because some of these ones I actually want to sit here and just listen to because I haven't. Like Roots by Alex Haley seems really amazing. The Call of the Wind by Jack London. I love how they've got so many free books here. And okay, let's choose for elementary. So this is the age that obviously I teach. They're Terrible Too. This is by Mac Burnett, and it's narrated by Adam Werner. It's 3 hours and 22 minutes, and it's from a series. It's got a synopsis here. It's got ratings and reviews. So you know that's 3 hours, 22 minutes. So you could have every day for half an hour as part of your schedule, we're going to listen to a book. And that could be towards the end of the day when they're winding down. And then prior to that, in between a different activity, you might have had time to read with them, or they might have had time to do free reading themselves.
Chapter 1. Welcome to Yawny Valley, an idyllic place with rolling green hills that slope down to creeks, and cows as far as the eye can see.
One of the really nice things about listening to an audiobook is that they don't have to focus on reading the words, but they can still focus on the language itself. And as the audiobook continues, it's up to you how you do it, but if it was me, I would listen to maybe a paragraph, and then I would say, are there any words that you didn't understand there? Let's do a bit of dictionary work, and let them start up their own dictionary. Get them an old notebook or a new notebook if you have one lying around, and as they're reading their books and listening to their audiobooks, they can be looking in the dictionary, improving those skills and picking up words, copying them out. And suddenly their vocabulary is improved, their ability to write has improved, and they're probably going to be enjoying it a lot more than they're going to let on. So that is the end of my video. Just a quick summary, a quick breakdown of my points. Set rules in place together with your children, set a routine in place and try your best to stick to it, and make the activities fun but functional. So this does not mean that you sit them in front of workbooks for the whole day. That's not fun. Try and stretch your imagination, try and stretch theirs. There's so many activities out there. Pick a few that relate to literacy, maybe one that relates to maths. Definitely get your children to help with the lunches that you're having, because they will learn so much from it. Even if it's literally just taking food out of a packet, putting it from the freezer, putting it on a tray and set in the oven. Those are life skills that they need to learn. But hopefully you're going to be doing some baking. Hopefully you're going to be spending a lot more time in the kitchen with them. And also please make sure you put breaks in there as well. So after about 10:30ish, they will need a little bit of a break, and let them do what they normally do in a break, and have a little basket for snacks for that day. And it's up to them whether they choose to eat their snacks right at the beginning or spread out throughout the day, and they'll soon realize that saving them for specific times is best, because if you don't have some sort of rules around snacks and drinks, they're just gonna want to spend the whole day going to get snacks and drinks, which trust me, we know it's not ideal. for a good learning environment. I hope this video was helpful for you. I know it's a bit long, well, it's definitely a bit longer than I wanted it to be, but I just wanted to say that, you know, there's so many teachers out there who are happy to help and who are wanting to give up their time to help you guys. Obviously, don't just message any old teacher or any teacher you might know expecting hours and hours of help. That's not very realistic because a lot of teachers are working from home as well and doing what they can from home. But if there are any teachers on social media, which I know there are a few on my pages, and people who are very willing to help and wanting to do their bit. So if you do see anyone saying, come and chat to me, or if you need any help, let me know, then take advantage of that. There is no shame in it. And if you're watching this right now, Ikra, I'm happy to help you guys with any queries you have, especially relating to primary education. So I hope you enjoyed the resources down below. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did enjoy it, click subscribe, hit thumbs up, and hopefully I will see you in my next one. Take care, guys. Bye. P.S. We've got this. We can work as a team. We'll get through this together, inshallah.